Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rechak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of First Esdras, the 5th chapter. So pretty much where we left off in the 4th chapter, we were dealing with Zerubbabel having put forth the wisest saying and pleasing Darius and the rest of the princes so much that they basically, granted him whatever he wanted. And he had let it be known that he wanted permission to, be allowed to go back and continue the building of the temple, which we had started under the reign of Cyrus. So that leads us into First Esdras Chapter 5. And so let's get into it. This is First Esdras Chapter 5, verse 1. After this were the principal men of the families chosen according to their tribes, to go up with their wives and sons and daughters, with their men servants and maid servants and their cattle. And Darius sent them out 1,000 horsemen, Darius sent with them 1,000 horsemen, till they had brought them back to Jerusalem safely, and with musical instruments, tabrets, and flutes. Because remember, they were more further east at this point, so they had to make that travel all the way back to Jerusalem. And it wasn't like it's like a half a day's journey or something like that. And all the brethren played, and he made them go up together with them. So at this point you have, these Israelites, the principal men, their families, their wives, and those that are going with them are all pretty much on their way now back to Jerusalem. And these are the names of the men which went up, according to their families, among their tribes, after their several heads. The priests, the sons of Phinehas, the son of Aaron, and because we're reading it here in the Apocrypha, some of the names are spelt slightly differently, but you can make out most of it who it's talking about. It says here, Jesus, the son of Josedek, which this is really Joshua, okay, or Yahushai in the Hebrew, but I'm gonna call him Joshua whenever we see that here. So it says Joshua, the son of Josedek, the son of Seraias, and Joachim, the son of Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel of the house of David, out of the kindred of Phares of the tribe of Judah, or Perez, who spake wise sentences before Darius, the king of Persia, in the 2nd year of his reign, in the month Nisan, which is the 1st month. So this is what we read about in First Esdras, the 4th chapter. Now, the 2nd year of Darius' reign, I think it might have been around 520 BC or around there. Let's find out. So Darius, the Persian, all right. So Darius the Greek, they call him Darius the First. And if we just go down to his reign, we'll see it was, so from 522 BC to 486 BC, as they would have it here. And so that would put the 2nd year of his reign right around 520 BC. Carrying on, verse 7. And these are they of Jewry that came up from the captivity where they dwelt as strangers, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away unto Babylon. And they returned unto Jerusalem and to the other parts of Jewry, every man to his own city, who came with Zerubbabel and Joshua, Nehemias and Zacharias and Reasaias, and Ananias, Mardochaias, Beelsaris, Aspharasis, Reelius, Roimus, and Baanah, their guides. Now, as far as this Mordecaius and Nehemiah is here, it's not entirely clear if this is the actual like Nehemiah that we read about and Mordecai that we read about in the book of Esther. However, it is entirely possible that it is referring to these men because they were also, notable men. And the timeline from around this time period of the 2nd year of Darius until the book of Esther, for example, that we read, is very realistic that that these men were alive from the time that we're reading right now up until we read about their accounts in the various books. And I believe Mordecai was somewhat older in the book of Esther. Let me actually look him up. Mordecai Bible. Mordecai. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so it says here, Mordecai is one of the main personalities in the book of Esther in the Hebrew Bible. He's described in Tana Devi Eliyahu as being the son of Jair of the tribe of Benjamin and member of the Sanhedrin. Mordecai was also cousin and guardian of Esther. Cool, we know that. But we want some... All right, it says here, his story is celebrated in the Jewish holiday of Purim, which commemorates his victory. However, since the 1980s, some academics have suggested that Purim originated from a Babylon. Okay, that's not what we're looking for here. Yeah, all right. I mean, I think when we get to... let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it says here, Esther 2 and 5 to 6, right? Let's go there real quick. I knew I'd read this somewhere. I just didn't remember exactly where it was. So Esther, the 2nd chapter, and the 5th verse. And it says here, now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. So Mordecai was a part of the captives that were taken from Jerusalem into Babylon. Which is interesting because when we're reading here in First Esdras Chapter 5, this Mordecai or Mordecaius here is one that was returning, right, along with the rest of these men, back to Jerusalem from the captivity, right, from the captivity of Babylon. So let's read a little bit more. Back in Esther chapter 2, verse 6, actually verse 7. Yeah, and he brought up Hadassah. Okay, so this is the main part that it mentions here. And so if we go back here, let's see what's being read. Contains a short snippet of Mordecai's genealogical history, generally translated as Mordecai, the son of Jair, who had been carried into exile from Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, so it doesn't really give too much context in here. But nevertheless, let's it's not something to harp over, But like I'm saying, the timeline here would be realistic if this Mordecai is talking about the one in the book of Esther. It would make sense, right? As well as Nehemiah, that they would live through this till their respective books. But let's keep on going. So it says here, the number of them of the nation and their governors, sons of Phoros, 2,172. The sons of Saphat, 472. The sons of Aris, 756. The sons of Phaath, Moab, 2,812. Now I will mention that though you see some of these names like Moab or Edom or Elam, these are just names. Okay, it does not mean that these people this person is a Moabite or this person is an Elamite. No. These are names. Remember, Esau was a name given to a man who was the progenitor of a certain nation. Same with Moab. It was a name given to an individual who was the progenitor of a certain nation. But it's a name. Okay? So don't get thrown off when you see certain names here. Oh, because it says Elam or it says Moab, maybe he's a Moabite. No. All right. It says here, the sons of Elam, 1,254. The sons of Zathul, 945. The sons of Korb or Korbe, 705. The sons of Banai, 648. The sons of Bebai, 623. The sons of Sadas, 3. 3,220. The sons of Adonikam, 667. The sons of Bagoi, 2,066. The sons of Aden, 454. The sons of Aterazias, 90. The sons of Selan and Azatus, 67, which a score is 20. So 3 score is 60, and 7, that's 67. The sons of Azuran, 432. The sons of Ananias, 101. The sons of Aram, 32. And the sons of Basa, 323. The sons of Azephurith, 102. The sons of Metaris, 3,005. The sons of Bethlemon, 123. They of Netophath, 50. They of Anathoth, 158. They of Beth Samos, 40. They of Kiriath Earias, 20. They of Kaphira and Beroth, 743. They of Pyra, 700. They of Chadias and Amidoi, 422. They of Serama and Gabdis, 621. They of Macalon, 122. They of Betolius, 50. The sons of Nephis, and 156. The sons of Calamolalis and Onus, 725. The sons of Jerichus, 245. The sons of Annis, 3,330. The priests, the sons of Jedu, the son of Yahushai or Joshua, among the sons of Senasib, 972. The sons of Meruth, 1,052. The sons of Phasaron, 1,047. The sons of Carmi, 1,017. The Levites, the sons of Jesu and Cadmiel and Banuas and Sudias, 74. The holy singers, the sons of Asaph, 128. The porters, the sons of Salum, and I believe the porters were like the gatekeepers, the ones who would, basically keep guard and so on. The sons of Salum, the sons of Jatal, the sons of Talman, the sons of Dakobi, the sons of Tita, the sons of Sami, in all 139. The servants of the temple, the sons of Esau. So here's another example. These are not Edomites. And right off the bat, even if this tried to confuse you in the beginning, all you have to do is just read the first part of it. The servants of the temple. No way on earth will the Lord have Esau be a servant in his holy temple. Right? So when you see that, the sons of Esau is just the name of a particular man. It's not referring to the Edomites. The servants of the temple, the sons of Esau, the sons of Asipha, the sons of Tabaoth, the sons of Seras, the sons of Sud, the sons of Phalius, the sons of Labana, the sons of Graba, the sons of Akua, the sons of Uta, the sons of Setab, the sons of Agaba, the sons of Subai, the sons of Anan, the sons of Kathua, the sons of Geder, the sons of Iris, the sons of Dasan, the sons of Noaba, the sons of Kaseba, the sons of Gazara, the sons of Aziah, the sons of Phineas, the sons of Azare, the sons of Bastai, the sons of Asana, the sons of Miani, the sons of Naphisi, the sons of Akub, the sons of Asipha, the sons of Asur, the sons of Pharasim, the sons of Basaloth, the sons of Mida, the sons of Kotha, the sons of Karia, the sons of Carcas, the sons of Aserir, the sons of Thamoi, the sons of Nasith, the sons of Atifa, the sons of the servants of Solomon, the sons of Azaphion, the sons of Farira, the sons of Jeili, the sons of Lozon, the sons of Israel, the sons of Sapheth, the sons of Haggiah, the sons of Pharaoh-Kareth, the sons of Sabi, the sons of Sarathi, the sons of Messias, the sons of Gar, the sons of Addis, the sons of Suba, the sons of Apherah, the sons of Barodis, the sons of Sabat, the sons of Alon. All the ministers of the temple and the sons of the servants of Solomon were 372. So as you can see, it's basically listing, and this is good, right? Because the scriptures do this, which is they don't just skim over this, right? That's why it's a record. You know, it keeps record of all of these, all the individuals, all their families, all of that, you know, that did a particular thing. Okay. These came up from Thermeleth and Thelersas, Karathalar leading them, and Alar. Neither could they shew their families, nor their stock, how they were of Israel. The sons of Ladan, the sons of Ban, the sons of Nekodan, 652. And that's a problem right there. And see, one very major and important thing was record keeping. Okay, of the checking the lineages and so on to verify that you were indeed, because we had the records back then, that you were indeed of, you know, a descendant of Israel. And especially if you were to perform certain ordinances, i.e. like a priest or whatever, if you could not prove that you were from that line, then we weren't going to take that chance of, you know, letting you perform those ordinances, because then that can possibly bring some judgment. Verse 38, and of the priests that usurped the office of the priesthood and were not found, the sons of Obdiah, the sons of Akoz, the sons of Addis, who married Algiah, one of the daughters of Barzillai, and was named after his name. So these, they couldn't find their records. And when the description of the kindred of these men was sought in the register and was not found, they were removed from executing the office of the priesthood. So there you go. Because they couldn't find those records, unfortunately, they couldn't perform these ordinances here. For unto them said Nehemiah and Athaliah that they should not be partakers of the holy things, till there arose up an high priest, clothed with doctrine and truth. And because, you know, ultimately the one of the things or how do I even call this? One of the capabilities that we had, at least the priest had, and I believe it was the high priest, was the Urim and the Thummim, where you could then, you know, inquire certain things of the Lord, right? But at this point in time, they didn't want to take that chance. Verse 41, so of Israel, from them of 12 years old and upward, there were all in number 40,000. And you notice it mentions from 12 years old and upward, right? Because at that point, you are now under the covenant. You are now considered a man, as opposed to what they teach you here. 40,000 beside men servants and women servants, 2,360. Their men servants and handmaids were, so this is the 40,000 counting all those 12 years old and up, excluding the servants. Okay. As it says here, their men servants and handmaids were 7,347. The singing men and singing women, 245. 435 camels, 7,036 horses. Can you imagine how much that is? So this was like a huge, it was a huge company returning. Okay, like today, like they'll call it like I remember when those migrants were coming, they called them like caravans of just like large sums of migrants just making their way to the border. Well, you can imagine caravans of large sums of Israelites on their way to Jerusalem. 245 mules, 5,520 and 5 beasts used to the yoke. And certain of the chief of their families, when they came to the temple of God that is in Jerusalem, vowed to set up the house again in his own place according to their ability. and to give into the holy treasury of the works 1,000 pounds of gold, 5,000 of silver, and 100 priestly vestments. And so dwelt the priests and the Levites and the people in Jerusalem, and in their country, the singers also and the porters, and all Israel in their villages. So we finally returned back. But when the 7th month was at hand, and when the children of Israel were every man in his own place, they came all together with one consent into the place, or into the open place of the first gate, which is toward the east. And we went through this in the book of, at least in the book of Ezekiel, the vision the Lord gave Ezekiel of the temple. It went into a good, vivid description of the east gate, the west, the south, the north, and how it was to be comprised and built and all of those things. Then stood up Joshua, the son of Josedek, and his brethren the priests, and Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel, and his brethren, and made ready the altar of the God of Israel, to offer burnt sacrifices upon it, according as it is expressly commanded in the book of Moses, the man of God. And they were gathered unto them out of the nations of all the land, and they erected the altar upon his own place, because all the nations of the land were at enmity with them, and oppressed them. And they offered sacrifices according to the time, and burnt offerings to the Lord both morning and evening. Now, when it says that, and they were gathered unto them all of the nations of the land, it doesn't mean that the nations came to join us. It means that they gathered themselves against us. And that's why in the same verse, it tells you about how they were at enmity with us and oppressed us, and so on and so forth. So we offered sacrifices unto the Lord both morning and evening. Also, they held the Feast of Tabernacles as it is commanded in the law, and offered sacrifices daily as was meet. And after that, the continual oblations, and the sacrifice of the Sabbaths, and of the new moons, and of all holy feasts. I don't see no mention of full moons in here. I do see one of new moons, though. Anyway, and all they that had made any vow to God began to offer sacrifices to God from the first day of the 7th month, although the temple of the Lord was not yet built. So one of the first things they set up was the altar, before building the temple, because they understood the importance of that those oblations, and those offerings unto the Lord. And they gave unto the masons and carpenters money, meat, and drink with cheerfulness. Unto them of Zidon also and Tyre they gave cars, which when you read in another translation, this translates to carts, that they should bring cedar trees from Lebanon, so they could use it to bring the materials that they needed, which would be brought by floats to the haven of Joppa. And the floats meaning like rafts, or so it can go on water if need be. And the haven of Joppa. Now, Joppa was a what do we call this? A port city, if that's the correct term. And if you look up here, Joppa, see your Bible. Okay. Or a coastal city. I want the ancient. What about this? What do we see here? All right, so you can see right here is on the coast. It says here, ancient notes. The gate of Joppa is mentioned in the Tel El Amarna letters as guarded by an Egyptian officer. That's not what I'm interested in here. I just want some basic history, man. Is it that difficult? All right, let's see what it says here. You know what? Here's an image. You get the gist of it. It was a coastal city or port that they could dock at and bring certain materials to, as well as Caesarea. Now I believe I think Peter actually went there to, was it Simon the Tanner who was dwelling at that area? Yeah, there it was. And when you read in the book of Acts, Peter went to dwell with Simon the Tanner for a period of time. Now Simon the Tanner, I believe he made What was it that he made? See, does it say? Let me see if it says it here. No. All right, let me actually look into the word tanner. I remember looking into this a while back, but it goes into like he was making some form of material, but the process of making it was very you know, hurtful to the olfactory, meaning it didn't smell good. So it made sense that he was by the coast because there, the wind could carry it, not into the city. Let's see what we have here for tanner. All right, Borsios. Okay, a tan. All right, wow, very helpful. Okay, so we have here a skin stripped off, a hide, and let's see what it says here. All right, let me see what's in Acts 10:6. And he lodged with one Simon the tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall, yeah. Well, I mean, you can look into more details on this. I'm not going to go into this because I don't want to drift the focus on here. But you can look into what Simon the tanner did and how he did it, and you'll find out why it made sense to be by the seaside doing that. But let's go back here. So, where Joppa being this port city where they could, bring certain things from over the different parts of the seas, according as it was commanded them by Cyrus, king of the Persians. And in the 2nd year and 2nd month after his coming to the temple of God at Jerusalem, began Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel, and Joshua, the son of Josedek, and their brethren, and the priests, and the Levites, and all they that were come unto Jerusalem out of the captivity. And they laid the foundation of the house of God in the 1st day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year after they were come to Jewry and Jerusalem. And they appointed the Levites from 20 years old over the works of the Lord. Then stood up Joshua and his sons and brethren, and Kadmiel his brother, and the sons of Madibon, with sons of Jodah, the son of Eliadon, with their sons and brethren, all Levites, with one accord, setters forward of the business, laboring to advance the works in the house of God. So the workmen built the temple of the Lord. And the priests stood arrayed in their vestments, with musical instruments and trumpets, and the Levites, the sons of Asaph, had cymbals, singing songs of thanksgiving and praising the Lord, according as David the king of Israel had ordained. And they sung with loud voices songs to the praise of the Lord, because his mercy and glory is forever in all Israel. So they were rejoicing, because now it's a beautiful thing for us to be able to go back and rebuild that temple that was destroyed. And all the people sounded trumpets and shouted with a loud voice, singing songs of thanksgiving unto the Lord for the rearing up of the house of the Lord. Also of the priests and Levites, and of the chief of their families, the ancients who had seen the former house came to the building of this with weeping and great crying. So they remembered what the original temple looked like, and to see it being rebuilt again, like it says, they came with weeping and crying, because they had witnessed that glorious temple that Solomon built be destroyed. And now the Lord had mercy for us to be able to come back and rebuild. But many with trumpets and joy shouted with loud voice, insomuch that the trumpets might not be heard for the weeping of the people. Yet the multitude sounded marvelously, so that it was heard afar off. So this was loud. When you may not be at a concert, but maybe you live nearby, or you're driving past and you can hear just a shout of a whole bunch of voices at once. That's you can imagine that, but slightly different, of course. Not that they were shouting and rapping to some terrible wicked music. But anyway, verse 66. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what that noise of trumpets should mean. And they perceived that they that were of the captivity did build the temple unto the Lord God of Israel. So they went to Zerubbabel and Joshua, and to the chief of the families, and said unto them, We will build together with you. Now remember, at this point in time, the northern kingdom is not in Samaria. Why? Because they had been deported to Assyria. And at the fall of Assyria, it tells you in the book of Kings, they took counsel, and also in the Apocrypha in 2nd Esdras 13, they took counsel and left the east and came to the Americas. So who was in the land? Who were in the neighboring lands? Heathens. Because as was the tactic of the Assyrians, when they removed you from your land, they put you in somebody else's land, but they did the same to those people and brought them into your land. So in this area, we're around heathens. Now, we were originally around heathens because you had the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites all around us. But now, directly above us, right, where you had Samaria and all those cities, you had heathens dwelling there. And these were heathens that had learned our customs in order to dwell in the land. So they were basically out here coming, and you're going to hear what they're going to say, right? Verse 68 ending, we will build together with you, for we likewise, as ye do, obey your Lord and do sacrifice unto him from the days of Asbazereth, which is really Esarhaddon, the king of the Assyrians, who brought us hither. So when Esarhaddon had imported the heathens in there, they kept getting killed by lions because they were, they weren't following the laws of the land. So a priest, a Levite, was sent in there to show them how they should keep the customs so they wouldn't be torn up by those lions. And so from there, though they kept certain customs of us, they still weren't Israelites. Bear with me 1 second. So that's why they made that statement right there. Verse 16, verse 70. Then Zerubbabel and Joshua, the chief of the families of Israel, said unto them, It is not for us and you to build together an house unto the Lord our God. We ourselves alone will build unto the Lord of Israel, according as Cyrus the king of the Persians hath commanded us. But the heathen of the land lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judea, and holding them straight, hindered their building. And by their secret plots and popular persuasions and commotions, they hindered the finishing of the building all that time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius. So basically, when you read this, it sort of goes back a little bit, right? And getting to the end of this chapter, and it makes reference back to given sort of the reason as to why these heathens, were even more adamant on stopping us from building, because we refused to let them build with us. Okay, and so they weren't able to. So it basically, gives a recall of back to the time of Cyrus, how it was that we weren't able to finish the building then, and that we had to do it in the during the time of Darius. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of First Esdras chapter 5. Not too much going on in here. It's mainly a lot of genealogies, records being listed in here. But overall, it's just going into how we were finally able to return to Jerusalem to continue the building of the temple. And with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.